Utsunomiya, Japan, the final destination for the pro peloton teams as they tackle both the criterium and road race of the Japan Cup.
Hi, I'm Reina Yamada. I'm a supporter for Japan Cup 2013. Japan Cup is the biggest race in the Asia, and there will be a lot of people coming from all over the Japan. This year, especially, a lot of professional team is coming from the world. I'm a big fan of Tour de France, and I'm so excited to see all these professional racers.
Hey guys, back home. My name's Nathan Haas, and I'm back in Utsunomiya in Japan for the 2013 Japan Cup. You know, something that I've learned over the last 2 years is, you know, coming into October with over 80 race days in your legs, and this year a Grand Tour, having done the Giro, it's certainly hard to be motivated, you know, to go for the win. But you know, I'm back. It's one of my favourite races of the year, and you know, I think Dan Martin and myself in the Garmin team are going to give it a good crack.
This year we take an exclusive look behind the scenes with Saxo Tinkoff Pro Cycle Team and Aussies Michael Rogers and Rory Sutherland.
Right here we just brought the specialized SE4, so we also have the winch, the aero bike. I heard there should be a bit of climbing in this race, so better to have a bike the riders like.
This is my first time in Japan, so I've only been here since last night. We're going to go out and have a look at the course now and see what it's all about and get back to riding on the left-hand side of the road. It'll be interesting after a full year in Europe.
Prior to the race weekend, the teams use valuable time to familiarise themselves with the road course.
You know, it's the first ride here in Japan for this week. We just came from China, so the jet lag is not huge, but they had a long travel day yesterday. They had to be at the airport 4 hours before for the checking because Beijing and a little bit complicated in China. But anyway, they get back to the hotel yesterday at midnight. That's why we didn't ride this morning. They had a good sleep, and yeah, now we just have to go on the parkour to make the legs ready for tomorrow and following day. So we will just ride on the course and take it easy at the beginning, but probably do some more intensive training at the end, just to open the body and make sure they are ready for the weekend.
First and foremost, we don't come here so often. You know, I was at this race 10 years ago, and it's certainly a big pleasure to come back. But also we have a Japanese teammate, Takashi, and I can see just his energy of that he has for his home race. And tomorrow night we're going to try and set the race up for him, and so he can perform well. Most of the year he plays a domestique for us, and we'll reverse that role a little bit, and we'd love to see him perform well here. It'd be a real thrill for us to see him on the podium.
Very exciting. With them, it's a special. Yeah.
It's all for Taka. Takashi, you've been training for this all year, right? European season for this. What?
It's better riding downhill than uphill.
Can't take serious. Can we put some more speed on? Last race of the season for us. But no, I'm excited for it. It's always great fun to have a good group of guys this time of year and come somewhere, you know, as special as I think Japan is.
The evening prior to the race, a very enthusiastic crowd welcomed our peloton to the city. The teams of Garmin Sharp, Sky, Lampro Merida, Cannondale, Radio Shack, Saxo Tinkoff and Omega Pharma joined pro-continental teams who brought with them their own show. Those included Champion System, Jelly Belly, Utsunomiya Blitzen, plus the Japan national team and many more.
Champion from Mexico.
All aiming to take out the prestigious Japan Cup criterium and road race titles.
I'm very happy to be in Japan for the first time in my life, actually, so it's pretty cool. I look forward to the next coming days for the 2 races here in the weekend. For sure it's going to be fun. There's a lot of people around, and I know from previous years people have told me that we have a lot of fans here, and then I hope my team can perform well and do a spectacular race. It's very few races where the guys actually can have fun and enjoy themselves. I think it's a good idea they can do it here in Japan.
Following on from the evening's festivities, the teams then headed out towards the start of the criterium. Eager fans crowded the team hotel for a chance to meet their heroes face to face.
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's different. So, coming from China, it's absolute opposite of what we had there. So, no, I'm really enjoying it. It's a bit of fun. Oh, quite modest aspirations here. I haven't really been training much, so it's the end of the season, and I'm really here just for a little bit of fun.
I'm at pretty long odds. No, we're another year on from last year when I did finish on the podium, but no, in all reality, I'll just be happy if I can stay in the bunch and get around and not make myself look ridiculous. So I just want to go out and have fun because, I still like cycling. No, I've retired from the international scene. Get an invite to do an event like this. It's a bit of fun. It's going to hurt, but I just go out and enjoy it.
It's a short race, so it's difficult to say, but it's sure it's going to be fast, and probably a sprinter that wins, so maybe our Japanese guy Takashi, he can have a go.
I mean, it's only a pretty short criterium race, and we're really looking to get a Japanese rider up there for the win. Pretty exciting. As I said, the Japanese people don't get the chance to see these races so much, so there's a bit of excitement in the crowd starting to mount. Races like the Tour, it's just all about business really, and it's not always enjoyable, but that's where you earn your bread and butter.
Keirin racing in Japan rates more popular than horse racing. Some of the nation's elite female racers gave over 100,000 fans a rare treat with a one-lap sprint race.
Pretty big, tons of fans here, really friendly people, and pretty cool experience, I think. It's just your typical race start in Japan. I mean, with how many people there are, I don't even think most people know what's going on. They just love the noise, and we're going to hopefully make an exciting race and have a good show for everyone. It's really nice. It looks like Tour de France. We was here 2 hours ago, and it was normal. Fans, but not so much. We arrived now, it's incredible.
That's close. Is that closer? Pretty nervous. No, it's the number of people here is incredible. So this is what cycling should be like.
Stage now set, the criterium got underway. As with all street circuit races, the bunch settled into a rhythm over the opening laps, soaking in the atmosphere and allowing them to gauge the early strengths and weaknesses of their rivals. This slow early pace gave some unlikely hopefuls from Champion System, Radio Shack and Team Nippo DeRosa the opportunity to create a small break and gain valuable TV time for their sponsors. Still a long way to go, the peloton wasn't fazed by the early break, which in turn was struggling for cohesion to maintain their gap. Nevertheless, the break did manage to open a 2-minute lead and caused the peloton to keep a watchful eye over their progress. In front of such a spectacular backdrop, the local riders were exceptionally keen to impress, pushing hard to extend the time gap over a peloton that was not taking any chances. Team Saxo Tinkoff's Takashi was also putting in an impressive show for his home crowd and team owner Björn Rees. For many within the peloton, such as Garmin Sharp's Dan Martin, Sky's Richie Port and Cannondale's Peter Sagan, it's been a very full European season. With the pressures of the Pro Tour now coming to an end, it's a chance to sit back and enjoy the racing without the associated pressures that the Pro Tour brings. Nevertheless, with the prizes on offer and the prestige of the event, there were still some nerves in the group, and it became an open affair as to who would push the limits for the final time this season and come away with a victory. For some within the peloton, this also gave an opportunity for a possible first win of the season, with many of the main contenders not as sharp as they would normally be in the Grand Tours or the one-day classics. The Japan Cup also welcomed back Tour favourite, Aussie champ Robbie McEwen.
Yeah, cycling in Japan is huge. The fans are absolutely fanatic. They just love it. I mean, they come up just quivering with excitement to get autographs and photos, and the way they dress up and make little things like stickers with your face on it and all sorts of little funny souvenirs. It's pretty wild. It's an interesting place to come and ride.
Laps counting down and the peloton picked up the pace and started to reel in the brake. Within 2 laps the brake was caught and the organisation started to take hold in the lead up to the closing stages. As expected, the teams of Garmin Sharp, pushing for their main sprinters Nathan Haas and Steele von Hoff, Saxo Tinkoff for their hero Takashi Miyazawa, and Jelly Belly for USA national champion Freddie Rodriguez, made up the head of the bunch. Matty Breschel and Rory Sutherland of Team Saxo Tinkoff now give us an extremely rare look within the pro peloton. It's as up close and personal as you can get without actually being there. The pace quickens and the peloton is strung out. Saxo Tinkoff is well set on sprint sensation Peter Sagan's wheel, though it's Garmin Sharp's Aussie Steele von Hoff taking a maiden 2013 win.
Of course,
awesome. First win on a Pro Tour team, so can't be happier. Finally broken the drought. I haven't had a win for a while, so it's good to get one, and this is my favourite race as well. I won it in 2011, and to do it again is just awesome in front of this crowd, so really happy.
It's really an exciting race, you know, so many people around, and as you see on the pedestrian path, they are just stuck there, and it's incredible. It's like the end of the Tour de France, you know, in your Champs-Élysées or the first criterium straight after the Tour de France, where you have millions of people around the road, and yeah, it's just really nice.
With the weather threatening from a localised typhoon, teams were not dissuaded, heading out early for a ride with their fans around the road course. It appears that Cannondale's Ivan Basso had some stiff competition. The rain certainly didn't prevent a very dedicated 65,000 fans from lining the road course for what would prove to be an epic battle both against the road and the weather. Given the conditions on the course, the race tempo was quicker than expected, with teams struggling for warmth, though also struggling for grip, and the long downhills tempted many falls. This was time for caution as well as strategy. Not unexpectedly, an early break formed, containing a mix of local riders all used to the conditions that were taking a rare opportunity to showcase their talents to the cheering crowd. It's very unique that local riders get to compete with the elite of the pro peloton. So regardless of the conditions, the local riders were keen to impress and potentially catch the eye of their elite counterparts for possible inclusion in future team signings. As in the criterium of a day earlier, the peloton were keeping a watchful eye, and the teams of Garmin Sharp and Sky were pushing through the worsening weather to keep in touch. It's not unusual for such races to experience torrential rain, though the ever-increasing winds were becoming a real concern. Sensing the initial break were under pressure from the conditions, champion system rider Chad Bayer formed a lone break, sensing that there was a slim opportunity to race away with a solo win. Pushing hard and taking no chances on the downhills, Chad was starting to build a commanding lead and being pushed on by the adoring crowd, all respecting his solo effort. Realising the solo effort was now making an incisive impact, the break began to bring the champion system rider back into the fold. Having led from the opening laps, the original break was beginning to falter. The pace of the organising pro peloton was proving to be a little too much. Amongst the lead group, communication was faltering and legs were beginning to tire. It was only a matter of time before the bunch was back together and the real race would begin. With the weather worsening and standing water on the increase, it was becoming evident that this was turning into an epic battle of the elite of the Pro Tour. Saxo Tinkoff's Takashi gave one final push in respect to his local crowd, as well as some of the world's elite, all dug deep in order to put on a monumental show of defiance towards the conditions. But despite Takahashi's best efforts, it proved to be a task too hard. And despite a monumental dig, he was overcome by near hypothermia and fatigue. Back out on the course, it was go time, and those remaining from a very decimated peloton were now facing the final laps. Saxo Tinkoff's Rory Sutherland then sensed a real opportunity to drag fellow Aussie Michael Rogers into a commanding position at the head of the race. This left Garmin Sharp's Dan Martin, Sky's Richie Port and last year's victor Cannondale's Ivan Basso to attempt the impossible and reel back a sizable gap created by Saxo Tinkoff's Rory Sutherland for Michael Rogers. Due to the impossible conditions, the communications with the team cars was down, and those following the race were anxiously awaiting the results.
The top three positions in the race today. In first place is rider number 42.
Though it was in fact Saxo Tinkoff's Australian Michael Rogers who held off the late charge by the peloton to take his maiden win for 2013.
It was horrendous weather, but Rory rode really well. We attacked at the second last climb and yeah, never looked back.
That was alright, eh? Bit of a nasty day, like I said, but you complain about it before the start and you're like not motivated and you're whinging about it the whole time, but you know, you get in the moment, and you know, when you got a guy like Michael around as well, it means you just kind of stick it out and hang in there and try and help him anyway. And
it was just pouring rain, and it's quite covered by the wind here, but around the back of the circuit it's like a hurricane.
Great, it's a good job, nice, beautiful, great win.
It's good, you know, like had to wait to the end of the year to get a win, but it was worth it, you know. I didn't have the best start to the year, but it's always nice to win a race.
That's not bad ending for the season, you know. Yeah, it's good.